Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy and I wanted to make this video on Barrick Gold Corporation, ticker symbol GOLD. Reason why I want to make a video on this one is because we have a potential buying opportunity, in my opinion, here in gold, and a stock that I'm watching very closely, and I do plan on opening a position on this either through call options or shares themselves. So right now we're looking at gold on the weekly time frame, and the reason why we're looking at on the weekly time frame is because I just want to go over this trend line that I have discovered here on this stock. And so since about 2013, we have been using this trend line either as a line of resistance or a line of support. So you can see right here, we could not break past this line and we treated it as resistance in 2015. We eventually did break up, and then we treated it as support, and then we eventually broke down, and then we came back again, got rejected, got above, and now we are above, but we are bleeding back down, and we are now nearing an interaction with our support line. And so that does pose the question for me, is this a nice buying opportunity for gold? And so if we're looking at what happened today, we're down 4%. Post-market, we're down a little bit as well. And so if I zoom this in a little bit to our hourly time frame, just to see better what's actually going on here, you can see that we've had just substantial drops in share price since about our peak here in about August. And so we have just kind of been tumbling over. And so we are not planning on buying gold yet, as we have not found a bottom. But if we're looking at the RSI here on the daily time frame, you can tell we're at 28. So we are oversold here. We are getting near a support line, and we actually do have a gap to fill now onto the upside at around 2170. And so I am getting to a point where I may open up a position here, but what I want to see before I do is solid price action above this trend line. And so if we can get a back test and some confirmation, I do plan to open a position here in Barrick Gold for the long term. As we have fears of inflation coming up, I do think this will be a solid play for the next couple years. And so we do know Berkshire has a stake in this company. They did shed off some shares, about 40% of their position near the top. And so if we're also looking at other institutional investors in the stock, we have big names. You have Vanguard Group, you have BlackRock, you have RBC, TD. So you have a lot of the banks in here. So you have a lot of big hedge funds that are holding this stock. Yes, a lot of them were selling, but they are still holding lots of shares. So I do think what happened here with this stock is we saw overvalued situations right here in about July, August, and we did see some selling. But if Berkshire is still holding their position, that gives me faith that they have intentions to hold this for the long term, but they just took profits where they could. And so if I'm, as an investor, trying to get into this stock, I am really watching this uptrend line. And so another thing that I want to look at is our SMAs for this stock. So I'm going to add those in right now, and as of right now, we are actually trading below all of our SMAs, and we did get rejected here by our 50-day SMA. And so the reason why I'm looking at this as another buying opportunity is because if you kind of look at the history of this stock, it does trade very closely to its 50-day moving average. You can see, and so anytime we actually do get an opportunity away from this 50-day SMA, it does look like a buying opportunity. And so you can see we were far away from our 50 SMA here in 2008, and then we had a nice little run up. And so for the majority of the time, we are really close to this 50 SMA. And then if I just come in here right now, we are starting to make our way away from this 50 SMA. And so I don't know how long that's going to go for, but I do think in the long run, we are at a very cheap valuation for this company and a nice long-term hold. But because we have yet to find a bottom on this one, I am still waiting on the sidelines to get in. But a lot of signs are pointing to me buying this stock. And so next move for me in the short term is a back test of this line. And I think if we do hold this line, I will hop in and treat this as a nice little long-term hold to hedge myself against inflation. And so I just wanted to make this quick update video on Barrick Gold Corporation because it is on my watch list and it is a stock that I plan on buying. So I wanted to update any of you who are also interested in a position like Barrick Gold Corporation, a mining company for gold. And so because we are getting in a situation where inflation could be a battle for the next couple of years, I do see this as a nice opportunity to hedge as value for gold starts to increase. And so that is kind of my thought process and a nice little play to have in the long-term portfolio. And we are getting into a buying opportunity. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like. We are on that road to 10K subs. So if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.